All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely fundamental to the safety of any pressurized system: documentation and traceability. Now, I know it might not sound as exciting as, say, metallurgy or fluid dynamics, but trust me, if you get this wrong, even the best designed piece of equipment can become a serious risk. So let's get into where the real danger is hiding.
This right here, it gets to the very heart of it. We're always looking for the obvious stuff: cracks, corrosion, leaks. But the invisible threat, the thing that's at the root of so many incidents, is a missing document, a lost certificate, or a forgotten history. It forces us to make decisions in the dark, and that is a very dangerous place to be. So what exactly is traceability? Honestly, the best way I've found to think about it is as your equipment's memory.
That's the key idea for today. Every single piece of equipment has a story: how it was made, what it's designed for, everything it's been through. Traceability is that story. It's the complete, reliable memory. And without it, you're basically dealing with a patient that has amnesia. You just can't make safe decisions.
So this memory, it does three really critical things for you. First, it proves compliance. This gives you confidence in your own systems and satisfies the regulators. Second, it guides every single decision you make, from operations to maintenance. And third, and this is a big one, it helps you anticipate drift. Those slow, undocumented changes that can dangerously pull a piece of equipment away from its original safe design.
Okay, so let's break down what this memory actually looks like. It's really built from 6 essential blocks of information, and each one tells a vital part of the equipment's story.
The first 3 blocks are the foundation. Identification tells you exactly what it is and what it's supposed to do. A mistake here could mean you're working on the wrong system entirely. Design and fabrication proves it was built safely and to code, whether that's ASME, P&ID, or something else. This is your guarantee of integrity. And so crucially, protection and instrumentation confirms that its safety systems are correct and certified. Without this, your last line of defense is just a guess.
Now, the next 3 blocks tell the story of its life and service. Operations defines how to run it safely day in and day out. Inspection and maintenance, that's its medical history. Every checkup, every repair. If you lose this, you lose the ability to spot dangerous trends over time. And finally, the modifications file, often handled through a management of change or MOC process, tracks its evolution. Any change, no matter how small it seems, has to be justified and validated. This is how we prevent that dangerous drift we just talked about.
So what happens when parts of this memory go missing? Well, it leads to what I call equipment amnesia. And it's behind some of the most common and, frankly, most dangerous mistakes we see out in the field.
And these mistakes happen every single day. You hear it, right? We don't have the file, but we run it anyway. That's just operating blind. Or even worse, the service conditions have changed. Maybe a different fluid, maybe a higher pressure, but the file hasn't been updated. And maybe the most critical error, you see a safety valve, but there's no certificate to prove it's set pressure. That's not protection. It's just a piece of metal with no verifiable function.
Okay, so how do we fight this amnesia when we're on site? Let's get practical. Here's a quick checklist you can use. Before you touch any piece of pressurized equipment, you need to verify these key points.
Think of this as your personal safety barrier before you start work. First, does the tag and nameplate actually match the equipment in front of you? Simple but critical. Next, are the drawings and the most recent inspection reports actually available? Can you get your hands on them? Then, check the safety protection. Is it clearly identified? Are its records traceable? And importantly, has it been disabled or isolated? You got to be able to retrieve the history of findings and repairs. And finally, if you see any changes, confirm they've been formally approved and all the documents are updated. Look, if the answer to any of these is no, or even I don't know, you have to stop, full stop, and investigate.
Let's wrap this up by thinking about what really separates a good technician or engineer from a great one. It all comes down to professionalism. This is the crucial difference. Lots of people can tighten a bolt or replace a part, but a true professional understands the responsibility doesn't end there. They make sure the equipment's memory is updated, complete, and accurate for the next person who comes along. They don't just fix the problem, they preserve the solution.
Remember this, documentation isn't just paperwork. It's a critical safety barrier. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about for your own workplace. Where are the gaps in your equipment's memory? Answering that question is the first step toward making your site a whole lot safer.